Well, this is my third time trying to record today because I've been having internet connectivity issues. So hopefully everything works out well. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and welcome back. Today, we're going to look at some shell cordovan shoes. I had to wear a suit for my daughter's play today, and I thought, hey, why not break out some of my favorite shoes? So I actually broke out all of my shell cordovan collection, and you're going to get to see it here. It's only 9 pairs. But I've done a couple different sections, one where it's by the type of shoe and one where it's by brand. So hopefully you enjoy it and let me know. Welcome to the Wisconsin Shoe Guy channel. On this channel, we look at shoes. We break it into a couple categories: unboxing videos, general shoe knowledge, shoe reviews, and shoe battle. Hey, I've organized all my playlists on this channel so that you're able to easily find different types of shoes, different brands of shoes, as well as finding all my shoe battles, worth the price shoe reviews, etc., all in one place. Enjoy. So we're going to start by looking at style, and we're going to start with one of my favorite styles, the Adelaide. This is an Allen Edmonds Cornwallis and Bourbon shell cordovan. Bourbon is relatively hard to find unless you're looking at Carmina, where they have it on a regular basis. I really like these shoes because they are Adelaides. I wish they had cap toes, but Allen Edmonds doesn't make those. The next section is the Longwing Blucher, also called an LWB. Barker makes these for Edward and James, and this is in really dark brown shell cordovan. This shell cordovan is actually sourced from an English tannery, which is really hard to find. Unfortunately, no longer exists. They went out of business. The next pair is a pair of Meermins, and you can see my dog photobombed me there. This is in cognac shell cordovan coming from Shinki in Japan. Really exciting type of shell cordovan, and I just love the color on these as well. Now we move over to plain toe Bluchers. Now PTBs are one of my favorite types of shoes, and I love them in shell cordovan. This is a really beautiful forest green shell cordovan coming from Horween. These are made by Allen Edmonds, and these are just a great PTB with a long history. I've really loved these a long time. Now, natty or natural shell cordovan is, these are coming from Carmina. This is where they don't dye it in the same way at all. That's where it's the more natural color. But keep in mind that shell cordovan is dyed at the tannery. Now, these are color number 8, but as I say here, it's with sun. One of the really cool things about shell cordovan is that by putting it in the sun, it can change the patina considerably and lighten it, but it also lightens it in a spotty kind of way so that you get some really nice change to it. Now this is my NST section. This is a pair of Aldens that I've had for a long time. You can see that they've gotten some sun and that there's some variation building, but it does take quite a while. These Aldens I've had about a year now, maybe a year and a half. So the next pair that I have is this burgundy pair from Allen Edmonds. These are new, and this is the way they are out of the box. Not as dark as Alden's, but really a beautiful color of burgundy. Now the next section I have is an Oxford boot. This is a really interesting pair because this is color number 8, but it's actually marbled. So this is something that they do at Horween, and they really pull the color out a little bit. So as you look at some close-ups, you can see that there's a really interesting change to it. It looks really almost brown. So here we're going to look by brand. We'll start with Allen Edmonds, where I started my collection and was my first exposure to shell cordovan. This is the Leeds. This is their plain toe Blucher. It has a relatively roomy last. If you're looking to buy these, some people do size up for this, although it's the same last as the boot. The 5th Street boot is actually on the 65 last, and pretty much their standard. This is what the Strand and the Park Avenue are built on. This is the Cornwallis. This is on the 1973 last. It is fits the same for me and is a really cool shoe. I love Adelaide's, and I love the way this one fits. The next one is the Bradley. This is actually my favorite shoe from Allen Edmonds. This split toe with this pie crust apron is just absolutely to die for. I can't get enough of it. As we look at Alden, the We have the 2210, which is the split toe. This is on the Aberdeen last. This is a really narrow last, and I chose to go wide on it. And then, of course, my foot narrowed a little bit, so now it's a little bit too wide. This is the 990, which is on the Barrie last, which is relatively long as lasts go. I really like the way that they have the red stitching that goes with the shoe. Now, this is the Barker by Edward and James, or the Edward and James by Barker. This is the Calvé. And this shoe is that really beautiful dark brown, and really unique in my collection because it's so dark. Then we get to Carmina. Now, this is on the Oscar last in this natty shell, the 531, which is their plain toe blucher. And I really like this because of the contrast sole, the contrast to the rubber sole, the welt, everything on this just really plays out well. And then we back to the Meermin where we began in the Longwing. This is the 101-375. You can get this in a variety of fabrics, but I really love the shell Cordovan here.